I get drunk in your absence, daydreaming about it all. You can get a little hasty, won't take too much for me to dive in. Nowadays it feels like dreaming.
Welcome back to another Deeper Dig conversation series. This is episode 45 here in Oakland with Elu Jay. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, y'all, man?
Hell yeah. For those who don't know who Elu Jay is, he's a multi faceted artist of all kinds, and we're here to mostly talk about his music, but he kind of does it all. So welcome to the show, sir.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Just so we can bring people up to speed, you dropped A Constant Charade this year, this past in the past few months, and then you also just dropped the deluxe.
Yeah.
And that's something that I know that us three have been super excited about. Tony texted the chat like 10 minutes after it came out and was like, "Yo, the deluxe is out! Like, start bumping that!" So we were super excited. But let's get straight into it. For the first, how would you describe yourself, or how would you describe what you actually do to somebody who's never heard your music or seen your art?
I guess for me, I am somebody that takes a lot of influences from different genres of jazz, hip hop, rock, R&B, and new age, and I guess dream pop, and I kind of just fuse it into in reggae, and I just kind of fuse it into my own kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just make stuff that I'm just influenced by. I think that's the biggest thing, is like I'm not just one man doing this. Like, I feel like I'm a lineage of, different people, whether it's Kanye, Joni Mitchell, or Erykah Badu. It's just so many different things that it's just like I fuse into,
For sure,
to one thing. Yeah, man, I'm just a vessel. I think that's, yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, some people will call it like a modern renaissance man, like,
yeah,
you can kind of do it all,
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, that's just the music side. I mean, I feel like pretty multifaceted, I do a lot of different things, like whether it's directing or graphic design. It was just something I was like passionate about before this music shit.
For sure.
Just like from the earlier days, I used to like film skate videos and shit.
Yeah.
So
on Handycam, like VX and all of that. Fisheye.
I had a fisheye lens. I got robbed for it in East Oakland. Yeah.
Hot commodity. And as time goes on, those cams get a little more scarce. You're holding a VX. That's high
VX,
value,
bro. Yeah, the VX, man.
What's something that you're completely sure of as an artist right now? Could be anything.
I'm sure that I'm gonna continue to just evolve, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna continue to be inspired. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to be inspired and evolved.
That's kind of my next question. Is like, what does it take to have staying power? What does staying power require?
Staying power requires being fresh and being consistent. It's just those two things, bro. Literally, like,
how do you be fresh? How do you be consistent? Somebody who's like, I want to do it, but like, I don't really know what I'm doing, or like, I'm just not always feeling it all the time.
I don't know. It's like, I can just use a really good example. Like, for instance, when I was like getting into cooking and like making my own shit, just like when I was growing up, just like learning how to make eggs, I always kind of had this notion that like savory goes with savory. So fuck it, I'm gonna put curry powder in the eggs. You know what I mean? Just think of just fusion things that you can put together to make something new.
For
like,
sure.
And if you can continue to do that and continue to kind of like try art, whether it's music or film or whatever you're trying to push your medium, if you can just, that's just a way to kind of like push things forward, is to continue to like find different combinations. Because on this earth, bro, we're limitless, bro.
Yeah.
In a way, bro. Like, I mean, just look at the atmosphere, bro. Like, look at us, everything around it. Why would you want to box yourself into something when we just like, I mean, not to be cliche, but like, the sky isn't the limit. You know what I mean? Like, it's everything, bro. Like, we're in an infinite universe, bro.
So when you're creating things, there kind of is no rules. Is what you're saying.
100%.
It's like the curry powder on the eggs. There's no rules there.
Yeah, I mean, to taste, if you have parameters with your taste,
Sure.
you know what I mean? I'm not going to put fucking bacon in a chocolate cake.
But that might be something that you develop over time, though.
You never know. Someone might like that. Someone might like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Did it take some growing up to be this well versed across genres, or was it just something that you kind of always had and you kind of knew you just weren't sure how? Like for me, I kind of always knew that I would be doing something like this, but I was always confident in that, but I didn't really know exactly how I was going to do it, and it just like took the growing up to be like, oh, that's how you do it, or like, yeah. Is that kind of something that you're experiencing, or has it always been like you always known?
I didn't really always know. I mean, when I was growing up, I was just into so many different things, whether it was like gaming or just basketball or soccer. I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. I just knew that when I get into something, I hyper focus and nothing else matters. So when I learned how to make beats, it was just like, okay, this is all I want to do. And then I just kind of continued you just evolve as you just like hyper focus. I think you don't really even see the evolution because you're so locked in. You know what I mean? It's like a very just tunnel vision thing. And then next thing, a few years later, you just like, you're sitting in a room with just a bunch of equipment and you're in debt. And and you're like, damn, I have this whole music career, man. I got to make some shit shake.
For sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like as time goes on, things get a little bit different. You realize things or whatever.
100%.
Going to talk about Constant Charade, it took a handful of years for you to make it, and it must have been a ride. So how did it feel to actually finish it? Was it mixed? Like, what were the actual feelings? Were they mixed feelings? Is that part of the reason why you came back to a deluxe? Was it that you missed it? What was kind of like your thought process once it was actually done and like out to the world?
Man, I shit. It's crazy that between the first like debut record that I dropped was Circumvent, and this one, I had made like 2 different albums. Yeah. So I had made like another album,
and then you did that with it.
Kind of. It was kind of like I like took some songs from one of the albums and I put it on the Gems stuff. I had the producer that I was working with, J-Rob, to help kind of finish those ideas, and then I took like maybe 1 or 2 ideas from the other album, and then I put that on the Constant Charade, but really, what went down is that I was in some kind of like some deal with some label, and funny or not, I made a rock album.
Really?
It was a whole rock album, and I don't even know if the world's gonna see it to this day. So I made like just a normal not like a typical Elu Jay, but just like an Elu Jay album with fusion. And then I made like this kind of like NERD inspired kind of rock, kind of fusion, kind of rock and B kind of thing. It was pretty cool, but like I think there's like some like negative memories attached to it. So I decided to just kind of like pull away from it. I mean, there's some, like for instance, Hyundai was supposed to be on that album. Like that was on Constant Charade. I think Circles might have. Nah, that was. We made that.
By the way, we rented a Hyundai on our LA trip that we just took, and we were bumping the shit out of that song.
Okay. I love that. I love that, man. But yeah, basically, I was just. I kind of, not that I wrote that album very quickly. It just kind of like, it was kind of in response to what had happened in 2023. I spent all 2024 and kind of like the later half of 2023 kind of making this record while I was finishing Gems in the corner store too.
Sure.
So it was insane. I don't know if I'm gonna do that again. Just making 2 albums at the same time.
Yeah.
It was a little insane, but yeah, that was kind of like the process. That was kind of like those years. in between Circumvent and this one. And I'd made so many songs that I just was like, all right, man, like I kind of still want these songs to come out. So I'm like, I got a tour coming up. Let me kind of try to push the tour and new music at the same time. So it was kind of
How was that?
I mean, it was great. I mean, I feel like every time I was on tour, I guess in the past year or two, I've been able to like have music come out within like 3 or 4 months of each other, and this is always good because, or the music's coming out while I'm on the road.
Yeah.
And that's a great marketing push. I mean, the label loves that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's kind of happy. PR likes it.
Yeah.
So we just kind of I mean, the thing is, it's all about planning and execution. So you know what I mean. We just kind of got blessed with that. It was just kind of like the stars aligned.
And if people haven't gone to listen to that Gems album, they got to do that too.
Yes, they do.
That one feels really cool because there's like an interesting bounce to it. That is different than the fusion that you did in A Constant Charade. So it's cool to like flip flop between back and forth between both of those, and just to like kind of feel the vibe. But yeah, there's something about the Gems album that has that bounce that maybe is a little bit different than what you had in your personal, because in your personal you slow it down in certain instances, and and you fuse certain things together where you're really telling a story, whereas in the Gems is a little bit more like the collab between you and J-Rob. So yeah, that's super sick. What were you trying to outrun when you made A Constant Charade?
I don't know. It wasn't necessarily I was trying to outrun anything. I just kind of got sick of the games, bro. I kind of got sick of people playing in my face. So I just wanted to make a record that was like, this feels like something that's like an essence of me. And I'm just going to put everything that's true to my fiber into this record. And just write really fucking good songs. I mean, it was intentional the way I made that record and I made Gems. I felt like Gems was like, okay, this is the party. We're gonna turn up.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And then Constant Charade is more of like we're gonna get a little introspective.
Exactly.
We're gonna, you know what I mean?
We're gonna think about things.
We're gonna really, and I think it's important as an artist. You gotta have these the duality. You gotta be able to like showcase different sides of yourself.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And give people just two different things. I mean, the thing is, it's like, I like it because it's also just like, you know, when we did the Gems record release in New York, the party, it was a beautiful event. And I remember a fan came up to me and he was like, man, like, I love the record, but like, what are you talking about? And I was like, bro, I'm just trying to have a good time. Like, it's like he was waiting for that Constant Charade. Yeah. He was one of my fans that was like waiting for something that was like, you know, something a little bit more. But the thing is, like, with music, it's not always about the seriousness. It's about making people feel some shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Like you were saying earlier, that you listen to stuff in other languages that you have no idea what they're saying, but it makes you feel a type of way.
Tell me about it, bro. It's great, bro. I mean, I was obsessed with this this artist that was from Vietnam. Man, this shit was amazing. I don't know what the hell he's saying, bro, but it's like the feeling. It's a universal language of music. But yeah, I do it for that kind of reason, where it's like I kind of like to give people a variety of just different sides of myself.
You go Latin in Rocas.
Yes,
bro,
yes.
That shit is sick. Like I literally thought of my granny after that. I was just thinking like, this is something that like the fam would be like, what is this? Who is this? Like, so that's
an interesting one because my dad actually moved to the DR.
Okay.
So I spent some time out there in 2024.
Got you.
And man, everywhere every fucking bodega, corner store, bro, they be cranking that shit.
Yeah.
Hella loud. It's no drums. It's just like the percussion elements and then the bass and the guitar and the vocals. And I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
What if I brought this into my own world? So I actually got to collab with an artist out there. His name is Junior Island. If you're watching this, he's an amazing merengue bachata artist. And we just kind of said, I feel like it's important when you're working with somebody and you're trying to do a certain type of style of music, you need to work with somebody that's from that region. You can't, you know what I mean? And that's what I really like. I appreciate about Drake, what he did on the new record. He tapped in with Pilo, tapped in with the homie Jay and he made that song "Too Hard for the Radio."
Yep.
And it's like, that's important, bro. That's culturally important. And I feel like some rappers, they'll just try to make Bay Area type music, but without the Bay Area kind of recognition.
He's making sure that Dre's mom's getting a check too.
Exactly. And it's like, you can say whatever you want about Drake, but he's doing the important thing that people forget about, which is called representation and homage, bro.
For sure.
So that's my take on just when you're making music that you're a fan of from a certain region, just tap in with that person that's making that type of music so you can do it properly. You know what I mean? Or whatever kind of medium you're doing, you just gotta pay homage.
That's one of the most important pieces to me, it seems like, with the staying power question. It's like Drake is a good example where it's like he has been relevant forever because of the fact that he's tapping into things that he knows he doesn't have himself or whatever. He's tapping into young talent. He's tapping into genres that are outside of what he started out with, and that's exactly what you're doing. So I think that kind of answers it in itself, where it's like that's part of the staying power, is understanding like, okay, I want to make this type of thing, but I might need to source the right guy for this.
100%. that it's just it's too important, bro. Because I mean, like, if I don't want to be just kind of like copying some shit, I'm just shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
And I just like, because I mean, like, I'll leave it after this Drake comment, but I will say is like, I don't necessarily agree with this whole narrative of calling him a cultural vulture necessarily. I think that he does tap in, whether, I mean, for instance, like the One Dance song or the work, like he was tapping in with dance hall producers and Rihanna. I mean, Rihanna's from Barbados, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, these are just things that are important. He's a perfect example of somebody that pays homage. So yeah, we got to continue to do that to push the art forward, bro.
Absolutely. For sure. What do you understand about making art now that you wish you had known at 14, 15, 16? If anything. Maybe not.
I kind of wish I would have stayed kind of the same kind of innocence that I did. I wish I would have known that it doesn't really need to be this serious. And I feel like I've been unlearning that since 2023, and more so worrying about the feeling instead of like, okay, like, what are the implications? What is, like, really trying to understand your art. I think that's the biggest thing. Trying to understand what you make doesn't do you any justice, because then you're going to start overthinking this shit. If you're just like, this is fire, I don't really understand what I was trying to do, I feel like that's like, you start to, there's a bigger chance that record's gonna come out. Instead of you just like being like, well, like, I don't know, man, like maybe the snare should be a little bit different. Well, I mean, what do I mean in this bridge? Like, where's this going to? You know what I mean? Fuck it, just put it out.
It doesn't have to go anywhere.
It doesn't have to. You don't have to understand it.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe the idea of not understanding it and kind of having that essence of just being naive and just letting the inspiration kind of direct the course of the creative flow.
I kind of feel that within like the aspect of trailblazing, where sometimes people will be like, yo, homie, what are you doing? And sometimes I'm like that's part of the trailblazing, is like sometimes you don't really even know, like you got a feeling and you have to put it in motion in order to like be able to figure out what that was, to go back and analyze it. That's like, it's all part of the same thing.
All part of the same thing, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure. So to go back to the deluxe, what was kind of your thoughts on the deluxe? What was the purpose behind it, and what was your feel?
What was my feel? Okay. Well, to kind of piggyback off the last question, I think I got to a point where I just didn't really want to like understand what I was doing. I was just like, fuck it. These songs feel good. They feel great.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing something kind of fresh. This is like music I like to listen to. There's a little bit of this influence and that. And I was just like, man, let's just put these songs out. I think the world needs to hear it. And yeah, bro, I'm just going to continue to push the lever.
For sure.
You know, that not too much explanation on it. It was just kind of made with the intention of just kind of like, here's a treat.
Mm-hmm. For sure. That's kind of like what it means to be timeless.
Yeah.
Is to like sometimes like, you know, the it's like you gotta take what you're doing seriously, but you can't take yourself seriously. Like the work you gotta take serious, but sometimes you can't take yourself, and that's kind of like what creates that like that like I don't know. I will say, so the song Wushua, that song is very special to me because I made that the same day D'Angelo died, and it was a homage to him, and people don't really understand why it is. So I had never heard the She's Always in My Hair live version that he did. It was a Prince cover, and I realized he was just doing this kind of stank guitar, had the little distortion on it, and he was just doing this line, this continuous line, and he was playing chords over it, and I don't know, it just stuck with me. I was just like, because I was in this whole mind frame of just kind of like trying to create songs in different ways. Because like usually I have like 4 different ways I'll start a song. I'll start a song with either like writing out the chords, starting off the drums, writing poetry, or just copying a chord progression from something that I like really like. This time I wanted to just start off with a riff. I've never just built a song over a riff. So if you hear the guitar, it's kind of doing this continuous riff. I think those songs kind of make a record become unique, and you can kind of use a chord progression that's very widely known and still make it fresh. Sometimes people will make songs and they're like, oh, that's the same chord progression because you didn't do nothing different with it. You just played the chords. You didn't really kind of add any kind of character. So I will just say that something about that record is important to me. You know, R.I.P. D'Angelo, very, very huge influence on everything I've done, man. Like just from the harmonies to the textures and all that stuff, and just using tape and all that shit, man. Russell Elevato, man, like GOAT. But yeah, I show my pops your music, and my dad is a musician, has always been, and he built like a little studio in the house downstairs. I'll go in there and like open the door to the booth, and he's in there like working on stuff or whatever. And I showed him your music, and he was immediately like, yeah, send me this, like through iMessage, well, like whatever. And that's when I know, like, if my pops is fucking with it, like this is like that timeless, this has got that feel, this has got something. Like he likes to like go in, listen to stuff and grab stuff and like, you know, start working on his own thing or whatever. And so like when I show things to my pops, like sometimes he'll be like, oh, this is cool, or like, oh, it's interesting, or like I like the drums on this, or like I never heard this type of feel or whatever. But when I show him your stuff, he's always like, yeah, send me this and a couple more kind of thing. So that's how I always know, like, okay, this is what passes. This is passing the test. He's that guy. So that's how I know. So what's next for you?
Oh, what's next? We just gonna cap off the rest of this tour. We got
just tonight's show at the Independent.
At the Independent.
Hell yeah.
Then next we got L.A., San Diego, New York, Philly, D.C.,
summer tour,
Chicago, Toronto. We got a summer tour, and then I'm about to kind of lock in for this next record. Been really working hard with my friends that I've known for years, and we're working on something special, man. Yeah. And it's kind of the first time where I'm kind of like releasing the reins, and I'm kind of letting people produce me instead of just trying to.
Sick.
So you know what I mean? That's kind of like the thing with me, man, is that I always felt like I needed to have control over every fucking thing. Yeah. But I'm starting to realize it's important to let people kind of like take the reins. You know, I need somebody to organize my chaos. And it's like, there's another thing that Philip Glass said. If you don't know who Philip Glass is, he's a very prominent composer. He said, if you want to do something new, you need to change the way that you're doing something. that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, like, for instance, when I was on this whole tip of trying different things, like, you know, I tried the little riff thing with Washua. I try to record the music on my deck. So I bring a mic outside, I'd stretch it from my studio, and then I would record into the DAW from outside, and you get some of the outdoor noise. So I mean, this time I'm trying to let me just let go of the reins. Let me let somebody kind of just put their hands on this music and kind of organize my chaos. Cause I'll sit there, I'll play a bunch of shit, and I don't even know where to fucking go. And we damn near had the song 20 minutes ago, but it's like it's turned into like for better choice of words, slop. So it's like that's kind of where I'm trying to go with it. You know what I mean? And I'm just really inspired, bro. I'm at a really inspiring time right now. Like, I think for me is that I get really like sucked into like a certain style of music, and then I'm just constantly making records in this style of music. I mean, even for the bachata record, I probably had 3 or 4 records that I made, and I just picked the best one. It's just like, that's just kind of how I work. I just lock into a genre or a style of music that I'm really inspired by, and then I just make constantly making. And y'all will hear what it is soon, you know, but it's always gonna be something, you know, something new, something fresh, something.
When you do collaboration with friends, it's kind of like they, first of all, just point blank period, have a different perspective because they're not you.
Yep.
But then they also they're not like contending with the fog in your own brain, you know? And so like they're hearing the same shit completely different, potentially. So it's like the point of view is different just from the beginning, but then when it's like they're putting their hands on your stuff, they're also just hearing it differently from the way that you are as well. So that could really like help things flourish. For sure.
That's the most important part, is that having that different perspective is gonna help you grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't really grow. I mean, some people have the you know, some kind of wherewithal. You know, not everyone's fucking Prince. You know what I mean? No one can just sit in a fucking room for years and just bang out song after song after song, and it sounds like it's, you know what I mean? We need to lean on our counsel. Yeah. And, you know, I know some pretty good musicians that I would even say that, you know, are in that realm of like a Prince, where they're a savant. You know, I wouldn't call myself a savant, and they got people that they're leaning on now. They're like, I want you to organize my chaos. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, it was just something, it was kind of, you know, through all these conversations I was having with them, and I was like, man, I just can't find my person that I like trust. I can't find my person that I feel like is gonna get me. And I finally found that. Like literally within like the last, you know what I mean, couple months.
And that was in one person, or that was in multiple people?
It was a multitude of people, but I would say it's definitely like, you know, yeah, it's like multiple, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, all right. My homie was like, man, you gotta let the reins off. And I was like, you right, bro. Like, because he'd sit down. He's kind of an asshole. He'll critique. He'll be like, you know, I was listening to Concentrate. You know, like, them drums on there, man. It was too dusty. I was like, bro. He's like, why didn't you call me? I was like, you know, I just want to, you know, it was a pride thing. I'm like, I don't trust your taste enough. I know what I like. You know what I mean? I know I feel like sounds good. So, yeah, I'm that whole shit is stopping. I mean, at least for right now, I'm gonna let somebody kind of just come in and help me say today. You know what I mean?
For sure. I feel like when I was playing sports and now doing some production work with arabbitshole, I consider myself a glue guy, and that's like where I like find my enjoyment, which is like, yeah, helping others, and when I need the help, having other people help me, just like get whatever it is done that we're getting done. And a lot of times it's like when we go to do projects or whatever, like I'm hopping in there and immediately like saying hello and making people feel at home, because then you get more out of the project, you know, like you get a higher quality. So it's kind of something similar. Like I feel like it's just, you know, getting a little bit older and just maturing, and then just understanding and doing all of that.
1000%.
Yeah,
That's the way to do it.
for
You
sure.
know what I mean? I'd say this, bro. As humans, our purpose in life is to help humanity. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of motherfuckers who are selfish don't really realize that. Is that you'll actually get a lot more out of life if you help somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't have to beg for shit. The universe is listening.
Yeah.
You have to sit there manifesting. You send out one signal, man. That shit can happen for you.
Yeah.
So
I enjoy paying my respects without expecting anything back, you know. That's when things feel the best,
of course.
because then obviously people are hyped about it, and people are like, yo, like you're trying to be in my corner, I'm trying to be in your corner, you know. So
all I really expect out of things is just community.
yeah,
I just want to build community with people. You
Sure.
don't necessarily have to do X, Y, Z, but I want to be able to like have people I can lean on lean on your counsel.
totally.
That's what I
Totally. And I have this conversation with the guys all the time, but I feel like kind of like the world that we're in is kind of like a secret society. And when you're a regular person, or, you know, you're just like, you're not necessarily in it, it's kind of like something that is like so far, like unreachable, or just like something that's like not at ground level, or things that or people will be like, how do you like always do this cool stuff and blah blah blah, and I'm just thinking like it's all of the cool people around me, it ain't me, like
It ain't me.
or whatever. So that's what we've been
Shit.
trying to do with arabbitshole, is like bring this stuff up to ground level, and I know that's what you're trying to do as well, is just like help people eat, you know, help people understand how to diversify, and help people understand like, yeah, sure, this is what's being played on the radio, and this has millions and millions of views on YouTube at the moment, but like check this out, or whatever. Like this is what's really grassroots, or whatever. And so that's what's felt good about us, is that like we've done good work that has like brought things to the surface, and it's really created like some lasting community for us.
That's the most important part, bro.
Yeah.
I fuck with what y'all doing, man.
Thank you.
Because y'all really tapping in with people who fuck with art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we need to stop all that. I think we're at a time in society where we are just in a delayed gratification drought. You know what I mean? People just feel like, oh, I need to Uber Eats this now. Oh, I need to, you know what I mean? I need to get a date. Let me go on Hinge. What happened to go meeting a nice person at a coffee shop? Well, you know what I mean? Oh, I need to go get groceries. I'm going to Instacart this shit.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I need to make a fucking, I can't think of a beat idea. Let me use Suno. Let me fucking. So we're in a delayed gratification drought where people are not able to use their own discernment and pick themselves up and make some shit and go get some shit out there. So I think we need to be honoring people who actually are dedicating their time and effort to the craft. You know what I mean? I mean, somebody told me the other day, they're like, yeah, like, what do you feel about AI art and all this and all that? And I'm like, see, it's kind of like interesting, because it's like, bro, I spent all these fucking years trying to like really like build my craft. I was in vocal training for 6 years. That's a lot of people don't know. I didn't know how to sing like probably like 7-8 years ago, bro. Like I picked that up from, you know, dedicating my time to craft. And it's like for someone to come in and kind of take your voice and use it to make art, or it's just kind of something about it is insidiously demonic. And that's just my take on it. I'm not gonna say all AI is bad. I mean, there's there's a lot of breakthroughs in like you know, in the health world or finance world, like whatever it is. But when it comes to art that comes from the human soul, I feel like we need to kind of like pause on that.
It's about keeping it analog.
Yeah, in a way. I'm not, you know, yeah, in a sense, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just, that's the thing is like, I feel like art is a communal thing, bro. it's like a potluck. We bringing some shit to the table, but I'm like, how am I gonna let an artificially thing kind of like bring something to this potluck? It's just something to say about the entire I'd say like the whole zeitgeist of just like the world right now. I mean, like the food is artificial intelligence. We got artificial like sweeteners, and I mean that's been around forever. But it was another thing I was learning about was like artificial enzymes in milk. I was like, bro, what? So you telling me they have these dairy products that they mutate cells to make a dairy thing, and it's not oat milk, it's not almond milk, it's just that was a trip.
And it's like a lot of cereals and stuff are like fortified, meaning like they render the cereal from whatever they're making it from, they strip it clean, and then they add their own vitamins and minerals to it, blah 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 blah, to make sure it's like, oh, it's got half your daily dose of this or that, blah blah blah, but they're just pumping it in there.
Oh yeah, I had a friend that came here from not to get too off topic. They came here from Sweden. I took them to a grocery store, and they would never sell anything. They were telling me they're like,
my cousins grew up in Europe. It's the same thing.
Like,
they're like flabbergasted.
What is this purple shit in a soda? What is this green?
Like this is illegal.
Like this is insane. What is it? What are y'all putting in y'all bodies?
Yeah. Because like they'll even like my cousin will even mention like, yeah, if you go to McDonald's in Switzerland or whatever, like it's literally like canola oil, salt, and potatoes or whatever, whereas like here you've got like 90 ingredients or whatever.
And that's kind of, to me, that is kind of the overall allegory of everything. Like I just think everything's kind of like very, like I said, it has to do with this delayed gratification, drought, and just how everything is so artificial.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. And you're breaking out of that.
I'm trying to, bro. I'm trying to eat organic, man. I'm trying to eat
just everything. Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to stay healthy, bro.
For sure.
And just keep my mind healthy. I mean, I'm still like addicted to the phone, but you know, I'm sure we all are. I'll get to that point. You know, let me make my bucks move to a farm and cool it.
Absolutely.
I want to just continue making this great art, man. That's just kind of what I'm really focused on, and just trying to.
Yeah. No, yeah. Me and the guys are here to support you. So hell yeah.
Yeah.
We love the stuff that you're doing.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Hell yeah. So just to wrap it up, you've got something coming out in 2027. You're working on it hard. Hopefully, that's the goal. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
You worked on a few projects for the last couple of years. They're both out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've also got some other projects too that you've got in the archives that you're not even sure are going to hit the ears of anyone other than you. But you know, maybe
I'll do a little radio show. Maybe I'll drop a couple. Who knows, bro?
Yeah.
I'll think of something creative to just.
I mean, I'd love to see a rock show one day, just on some random or just like something fun.
Yeah, man. Come to the show tonight, man. It's gonna be something special
for sure.
You know, we tend to just. I guess for me is that we try to break the expectations of what people think.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, man, it's hey man, it's all fun and games.
Yeah.
As it should be, man. I still, you know, for me it's like, man, I still feel like I'm that curious 15-year-old boy that was just at his computer just trying to put some sounds together. You know, that's all. When I get sad, that's all I really think about. I'm like, man, what has made me happy?
Go listen to the Gems album and go listen to A Constant Charade, and then come back and let us know what you guys think in the comments. Hell yeah.
Yeah, tap in.
Appreciate
A rabbitshole, man.
She might throw you upon this time. When I always give you my mind. I'm with the virgins and